Romance is back in the theaters. New York Times best-selling author Karen Kingsbury brings a love story for everyone to the big screen based on her best-selling novel, Someone Like You. Today I have Karen Kingsbury and two of the stars of the film, Jake Allen and Sarah Fisher. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to all. Karen, first of all, my hat is off to you for not going the usual Hollywood route and actually doing this on your own. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, I had been blessed to see a lot of my books made into film, but none of them actually captured what I saw on my heart when I first wrote the story. So I thought the only way to do that was to do it ourselves. And my husband believed in that too. And we both said, hey, if we lose everything, like we have to use our own money and we need to do this. And you don't want to get to the other end of life and say, I wish I would have. So we used our savings to make Someone Like You. And after we found the talented Sarah Fisher and Jake Allen, we were sure that we were going to have a hit. We just know it. We just feel it that when it hits theaters this next week that we have a movie everyone's going to want to see.
Speaking of a movie everyone wants to see, Sarah, when you read the script, what were your first thoughts?
I was so excited. I had such a big smile on my face the whole time. I was on cloud a billion because I think as an actor, it's always scary when you first watch something because sometimes your critical brain wants to come in and you're looking for things. And honestly, the movie that Karen, Tyler, and that, the whole cast and crew, but that everyone put together, the best word I can use to describe it as is really just magic. It's magical from beginning to end. And I think a big part of that is because there is so much heart poured into every second of the making of this movie from everybody because everyone cared about the story so much. And again, that's also, goes to Karen for the story that she's created for all of us to be a part of.
Jake, fellas are always last, ladies are always first. So let's talk about you and your character. Let's talk about you and your character, and then also talk about the message at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, when Sarah was mentioning what she thought or what she felt when she was first reading the script, I, of course, as an actor, was thinking about myself. And when I read it, it was the opposite. It was absolute fear. The love of his life has a tragic ending on page 18. So I'm going on page 18 going, oh my gosh, like, how am I supposed to carry this pain for the next 80, 90 pages? But also as an actor, what a wonderful challenge. And with all the pain and heartache that comes with this movie, we do have that beautiful, hopeful ending.
What's interesting is talk about your special message real quick at the end.
Oh, at the end credits, I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's nice to remember that a movie, especially like this, that Karen has put more than just her blood, sweat, and tears in. She's put her money in. And that's to be respected, and that's to be noted in a movie and in a time when a lot of movies, especially that come out in theaters, are just the mega blockbusters. I think it's nice to remember that there are movies like this that are getting made with everything people have. The entire community, her entire family came out to make this movie. The crew, half the crew was family. I mean, I've never been a part of a movie like that.
It was faith-based, and I know Karen took a leap of faith on this one, definitely. One of the other things I want to talk about is the beautiful scenery, and this is going to air after you open on April the 2nd, but it is Wednesday. Some lucky person in New Jersey won the Mega Millions lottery. Had I won, Karen, the first thing I would have said was, how much is the glass house on Smith Lake?
The glass house was our first expense. So when we were like serious about it, I knew I had found that house. It's on Smith Lake in Alabama. And I knew that I wanted to take a vacation there at some point. So I kind of bookmarked it. I thought, oh, that's got to be Dawson Gage's house. I knew it. And so I looked up the calendar, and this is like a wedding venue. It's called The Barn at Smith Lake, and it's booked out for a couple of years, but not on Sunday through Thursday. So we grabbed these 4 days that we could get. We grabbed them, paid for that. It was non-refundable. And we built our entire schedule around that. That house is absolutely a dream. You're in it, and it just feels like you've stepped into paradise.
Speaking of paradise, I enjoyed actually the different locations that you shot at. So let's talk about that, Jake. Did you really enjoy the glass house? And did you really do some skiing on the water thing there? Did you the what? How did you like that?
That was amazing. I mean, we were talking about it last night at a screening that usually as an actor, you're given like a 6-inch mark where you have to do your lines, your scene, create it all out of thin air. And instead we were like, there's a lake, go. Do what you need to do. Go, you know what I mean? And very rarely are you given, I don't know, 500 yards of rope to just go have fun. And I think that's why those scenes, every time those jet skis pop up on screen, it just like breathes so much life into the movie, I think. And the glass house, you know, particularly that's Dawson's home in the movie. And so the fact that you guys started that, I remember that was one of the first things that you sent me along with the script. And it just helps the actor. That's where I live. I mean, that someone's home is a character in their life, you know, and it certainly was here in a very specific one.
No, this being a faith-based movie, the last question I have for each one of you, I'm going to start with Sarah, then Jake, and then Karen at the end. What do you want the audience to take away from this?
Well, I think if I put it down into one word, which I know we've all spoken about so much, I really think it's hope. And I think a big part of that is because it really showcases the beauty that can come from pain, that can come from rediscovery. And you know, it's such a beautiful part of the relationship between Andi and Dawson is that they both are at a point in their lives where it's emotionally very heavy. They both feel like they've lost a really big part of who they are, and then they found each other. And they care for each other in that time where they both are going through something that, again, you know, Karen doesn't shy away from real authentic truths of what life can throw at you sometimes. And the fact that they fall in love at a really hard time, I think is one of the most beautiful things about their relationship. So I think, yeah, just hope that there's light at the end of every tunnel.
Jake?
That was a perfect answer. Just to try to say something different, I would just say that usually the light will come when you're at your lowest, when it's the darkest. You know, I think it's as simple as that for me.
Karen?
Yeah, for me, you know, it is hope. It's a message that says that in our world today, there's a lot of division. There's a lot of loneliness and brokenness. And I think this movie is going to give people that hope. We've had people say, I was healed emotionally watching someone like you. And I want them to feel that way. Our Share the Hope campaign that we've started this where we have free tickets available for people who can't afford it. And that's going to be at someonelikeYou.movie. So we want people to go there and grab a free ticket if you can't afford it, or maybe you buy a ticket for a stranger, because everyone needs the hope of this movie.
One more time, what is that website they can go to?
Yeah, it's someonelikeYou.movie.
Karen Kingsbury, Jake Allen, Sarah Fisher, thank you so much. I enjoyed the movie. I will not admit a tear came out of my eye. I'm too much of a man for that, but I enjoyed the film. Thank you for joining us on Morning Blend.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Thank you.